Hi there, and welcome to this week's edition of Top End Track Talk. I'm Andrew O'Toole, and after a little break following the Darwin Cup Carnival, we're back again with racing at Fanny Bay this week, and it gives me great pleasure to be joined by my good mate, long-time Alice Springs caller, Shane Green. Greenie, great to have you here in Darwin, mate. What brings you to the Top End?
Yeah, thanks, Andrew. Well, of course, with regular commentator Craig Sandoff on holidays, jetting off to the United States, the Top End needed a race caller for a couple of weeks, so I'm up here to call the Gallops and the Greyhounds just for a fortnight, mate. And I must say, great to be back. Beautiful weather, everything going really well.
Fantastic, mate. Great to have you here. He must be getting paid too much, that Santi. Anyway, be looking forward to hearing your dulcet tones at Fanny Bay this weekend. And we'll now have a look at the tidy little 5-race card that we've got coming up with some 41 acceptors down to do battle. In the first, the maiden plate over 1,200 metres. My numbers are 1, 3, 5 and 8. Going here with number 1, Amigo Mio, trained by Bob Richard and Felicia Bergstrom in the saddle. Sad had the 12 starts now, this horse, and only won the one placing. That was a third, and that was last time out at Catherine. But its earlier form had not been too bad, and it's getting close to a win. So one on top for me, ahead of number 3, El General from the Gary Clark stable, Brendan Davis aboard, another whose last 2 or 3 runs haven't been bad. In for third, number 5, Rock Atomic, and my fourth selection, number 8, Our Great Northern. 1, 3, 5 and 8. Greenie, what do you like in the first?
Well, I've gone the other way, Andrew. I like number 8, Our Great Northern, from the very strong Phil Cole stable. I know the stable have had a good opinion of this horse for a long while, so much to the point where they sent him to Adelaide to kick off his career around 12 months ago. It is fair to say he's been slightly disappointing, but I don't think he'll strike a much easier maiden. So I've put him on top. Number 8, Our Great Northern, to beat 5, Rock Atomic, who's only lightly raced as an improving type, so he should go forward. I've thrown number 4, Musambani, in for third. I know he's had a lot of starts, but he's had 6 runs at 1,200 for 5 placings, so the law of averages suggests that he'll be there somewhere. And Amigo Mio, I've thrown in for fourth, number 1. I've gone 8, 5, 4 and 1.
In the second, the Sprout Handicap, it's the 0 to 64, it's over the 1,200 metres. My numbers here, 1, 3, 5 and 4. He was impressive winning the other day, number 1, Needy Rocket, and Felicia Bergstrom. She could be in for a pretty good day on Saturday. This one from the stable of David Bates has had the 2 wins from 4 starts in Darwin, and as mentioned, was impressive the other day over the 1,100. The 1,200 won't worry this horse. In for second, number 3, Lady Alcatraz, very impressive winning the other day from the Clark stable. Brendan Davis continues the association. In for third, number 5, Ominous Warning, Carl Spry for Pete Stennett, a winner during the carnival, in fact on Cup Day, and my fourth selection, number 4, Gomorrah. 1, 3, 5 and 4 in the second. Shane, what do you like?
Well, Andrew, I've gone 4, 2, 1 and 3. This is my best roughie of the day here, number 4, Gomorrah. She's a very handy mare in this type of race, and a couple of her runs over at the back end of your carnival behind in races that were won by Sky Muster were both very good. She's down in class on those runs. She was placed at Catherine at her last run, and I just think she's drawn the outside gate. I think that's an advantage for her, and she's in a good stable with Mark Nyan. I've gone her as my best each way all day, number 4, Gomorrah, over 2 wins a cup, who's ultra consistent. I've thrown the top weight Needy Rocket, who's won 2 of his last 3. He's in good form. And for fourth, I've thrown in 3, Lady Alcatraz. Good winner in the class too, but she's up in class and she'll need to be at her best to beat a couple of these.
In the third, the Ladbrokes Handicap, it's for the 0 to 76 gallopers. It's over the 1,100 metres, the highest grade race of the day, and I'm going 2, 1, 4 and 6. Going here with a very much informed Brooklyn from the stable of Carl Spry, very informed stable too. Carl's having a great run, probably helped by the fact he got married recently, and he takes the mount here on Brooklyn, 1 on Cup Day, and then back that up with a good win on the 1st of September. No reason he can't go on with the job. 2 on top for me, ahead of number 1, the Captain, a newcomer to the Clark stable. Brendan Davis aboard, raced well for Richard Lamming during the carnival up here, a second and a third his last 2 starts. In for third, number 4, Culzine, knocking on the door for Gary LaFoe Jr., and my fourth selection, number 6, Quantum Dot. 2, 1, 4 and 6 in the third. Shane, what do you like, my friend?
4, 7, 2 and 1 for me here, Andrew, in race 3, the Ladbrokes. I've gone the Gary LaFoe trained Colzian. He was good behind the Coco 3 runs ago, and his subsequent starts have been good. He's been solid since he's arrived in the top end, and I just think it looks the right race for him. Number 4, Colzian on top. to beat 7, Tuscarora. The more I look at her, the more I warm to her. She was a really good winner of a lower grade race at her last start. She drops 3.5 kilos on that. She gets in with a featherweight, and Vanessa on board. She'll be aggressive. She'll go forward. She'll be right there. I think she's a really good chance. As you mentioned, Brooklyn number 2 racing really well, and the captain's from the all-conquering Gary Clark stable. It should run well, but I like the 4 Colesian over 7, 2 and 1.
Very good. In the 4th, the Gardens Park Golf Links Handicap. It's the benchmark 54 event over the 1100 metres. My numbers here 2, 6, 1 and 4. We're going with Mason County from the Jason Manning stable, and Vanessa Arnott in the saddle. It was a good third at Darwin here last week behind Needy Rocket, or a fortnight ago rather. Won during the carnival on day 6, and pretty handy galloper on his day, number 2 Mason County. Got it on top ahead of number 6 Let's Celebrate. Tends to mix her form a little bit, this mare. She was disappointing, I thought, the other day behind Needy Rocket, but did race well during the carnival. Got to have her in the mix. In for third, number 1, Also Adamus from Carl Spry's stable, and Carl is also the trainer of my 4th selection, number 4, Millennium. 2, 6, 1 and 4. Greenie, what do you think?
2, 6, 4 and 3 for me, Andrew. I'm also with Macon County. Was very good winning first up. It was a rock-solid victory. Cannot work out what happened to it at Catherine. It ran last of 8. It was an appalling performance, but it was able to bounce back, as you mentioned, with a placing here at the last meeting. Looks like it's got its campaign back on track, and I think it'll be really hard to beat. 2 Macon County. I'm also with Let's Celebrate to run second, number 6. Consistent before a last start failure, owned by a great bunch of guys, the AHEC boys, Aaron Kingshot and his group. Hopefully it runs well for them. The 4 Millennium, Carl Spry's other one, I've thrown in for third. It's a consistent galloper, and I don't mind the look of Planet America. It's been freshened up, and Sean Rains trains and was in good form, and it's just tapered off a while back, and with it being fresh, I think it'll run a good race. Number 2 Macon County on top over 6, 4 and 3.
And in the last, the Sitzler Handicap, it's the 0 to 58. It's over the 1,600 metres, a field of 7 to face the starter here. And my numbers 4, 1, 2 and 6. I'm going with number 4, Snowy Black, with not a great deal of conviction. Has been a little disappointing, this horse, trained by Gary Clark, Brendan Davis aboard. But he did go a better race last time over the 1,300. Finished second to Beau Garçon a fortnight ago. He has form at the 1,600, 4 starts for 2 seconds, and I'm prepared to give him a chance to get back in the winners list here. Number 4 on top for me, ahead of 1 Bonaire. Didn't mind its run last time behind Beau Garçon. Carl Spry trains and rides. And for third, number 2 Strategic Journey. Good run the other day, and the Phil Cole stable racing well. My 4th selection, number 6 Geronimo's Son. 4, 1, 2 and 6 in the last. Greenie, what do you like in the 5th?
Well, first of all, I think you're a very brave man, Andrew, tipping Snowy Black. He's had a number of starts and he's been disappointing. It'll take a man of unwavering faith to find him, and good luck. I've gone with the 2, Strategic Journey. I was sitting at home on the south coast just on the first, and I watched his first up run over 1,300, and he just got off the bridle coming to the corner. It was a bit of a stop-start, but he really hit the line well, and he'll appreciate the mile a lot more. So I think he'll be really hard to beat, Strategic Journey. In fact, he's my best bet of the day to beat number 3, Larracone, from the Tayan Halter stable. Very consistent at the mile. He'll run a good race. I've thrown the top weight Bonaire in to run third. Hasn't got to the mile yet, but look, he has just as much ability as most of these, and if it can handle the mile, I think it'll be right in the finish. And, well, I've really had no other choice. I've had to throw Snowy Black in number 4, the Stagger in the 4th spot. So I've gone 2, 3, 1 and 4 in the last, Andrew.
He's got the weight of expectation on him, has Snowy Black in the last. My best bet in Darwin this Saturday is race 1, number 1, Amigo Mio. Race 1, number 1, Amigo Mio, while the best roughie comes up in race 5, number 6, Geronimo's Son. Race 5, number 6, Geronimo's Son, had a trial here earlier in the week and didn't mind the way it went for Gary Lafoe Jr. Greenie, what are your thoughts on a best bet and a best roughie?
My best bet, Andrew, you have to wait until the last. I've come up with number 2, Strategic Journey in the last, and my best roughie comes up in race 2, number 4, Gomorrah.
Well, that wraps up this edition of Top End Track Talk, and a big thank you to Shane Green for his thoughts on the card on Saturday. We look forward to hearing Shane calling here at Fanny Bay on Saturday and at the Greyhounds as well over the next couple of weeks. In the meantime, good luck and good punting.